everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexa and today, as you can see, this format is completely different. I am working on a better format and a better content, so stay tuned and subscribe to my channel to receive notification and see my videos. Hopefully, if you like it, I will keep going on and I'm so thankful for my subscribers. Today, what I want to talk about is a news that is going on all over the internet because of some declaration considered sexist about Japan and their point of view on women. As you might know, since 2013, Japan was designated as country that will host the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. Since that moment, Japan received a lot of attention from mass media and the countries because it's a really important event. By the history of the Olympic Games, we have the proofs that not only those games were a huge sport event and extremely entertaining, but it was also a perfect moment to show the world what was going on in the country. But today, I want to talk about what's happening now. As you might know, since 2013, Japan received a huge amount of attention. And scandals like sexism and discrimination were really well pointed every time that something happened. For example, in December 2018, Japan was put under a huge pressure from the media when a huge scandal was known all around the world, when at least 9 universities in Tokyo, medical universities in Tokyo, were under investigation, official investigation for manipulating the entrance exam results in order to exclude more females from entering the universities. Their reason was basically they were scared that the women will quit the medical job, the medical career, and pursue a more family-oriented life. So they will not practice their degree and they will not enter into the medical work field to stay home and care the children. The Japanese government tried really hard to boost women into the work field, and a sexist scandal like this really put Japan under a huge shame. What is even more incredible is that after those proofs were made public, the Tokyo Medical University only apologized for betraying the trust of the public. This is the only apology made. Other than that, there was another university, the Tenno University, that explained. They said that they set the bar higher for women because they were better at communicating than men. Oh yeah. So while waiting for this important event, the Olympic Games, and having all the media pressure on Japan, we have cases like that where public institutions like medical university, they manipulate tests in order to exclude women. Based on what? Having a child, having a personal life, having some personal choice. It's true that in the past, women were supposed to just stay home and raise child. That's true. It's a fact all over the world, not only in Japan. I don't want to point only Japan for having this kind of old mindset, because it was a reality. Women have struggled through the years to gain their own independence and realize a career by themselves. It's not an easy job, it's not an easy progression. It took a lot of years and hard work and struggle. A scandal like that, especially while waiting the Olympic Games, has a huge impact on the public perception of this country and its beliefs. Another news I would like to let you all know is the case of a high school girl suing her high school because pressuring her to drop the school. This case is more controversial. This high school girl was a former high school girl. She was at the last year, I think, together with her boyfriend in this high school. Here in Japan, schools can have really strict rules. Everyone know about the uniforms and the studying hours and the fact that some schools schools are asking the students to not take part-time jobs in order to focus on their studies. Not all the schools have really strict rules, but in this case, this Tokyo high school does. The Tokyo high school itself has a no dating rule. Basically, the school wants students to focus on the studies instead of dating, which, let's be honest, it's pretty insane to expect from teenagers. What happens is that every time you say no to a teenager, they will find a way to sneak outside this borderline. Those two were dating, but a teacher actually caught them dating after questioning them for a long time and pressuring them to answer honestly to those questions. They admitted their relationship. Of course, the school wasn't happy to see them admitting the fact, but instead of expelling them, the school pressured them to drop the school voluntarily. So after pressuring, especially the girl, she decided to drop the school. By dropping the school so close in November, so close to the graduation day, the girl is actually accusing and admitting really severe psychological trauma. She's mad that she couldn't agree just because she was dating and she was in love. We don't really have the confirmation that the boy dropped the school, but only the girl is suing the school. And she is asking for compensation, of course. 370 months. Now, of course, it's something that we as Americans or Europeans can't really understand because it's none of the school business whether the students are having a love life or not. But it's still a school rule. Now let's focus on the true scandal and why this scandal is so important. After the Tokyo University scandal for the manipulation of the exams and these girls suing the school, of course we have something even much heavier, the Yoshiro Mori scandal. Yoshiro Mori is actually the chief of the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Committee. What happened and why is Mori so famous nowadays for his sexist remarks is that on 3rd February there was an extraordinary meeting of the Japan Olympic Committee Council. The council was discussing a policy to increase female members of sport organizations to about 40% more. Then Yoshiro Mori-san made a really sexist remark. He was giving a private opinion about this incrementation. He said that a meeting of an executive board that includes many women will take time. Women are competitive, he continued. When someone raises his or her hands and speaks, they probably think they should speak too. That is why they all end up making comments. Mori also quoted an anonymous person as saying it might be necessary to put a cap on how long members can speak. He said, "I was told that if the Japanese Olympic Committee plans to increase female members of the executive board, meetings will be drawn out unless the time allotted for each speaker is limited to some extent," he said. "I will not say who said so." Basically what he said was that competitive women prolong meetings with their need to talk. Affirmations that he retracted the same day. Of course, this remark was a huge deal, especially because now it's an international affair. It's something that every country is well aware of. The committee now is losing not only sponsors, but they also lost volunteers. As you might know, the Olympic Games are a huge event and costs a lot. So the committees for the Olympic Games have always asked people if they want to voluntarily work for the event. And of course, people always enjoy volunteering for those events. Not only they have the chance to be part of the Olympic Games themselves, but it's also a way for the country to save some money. After the affirmation of President Mori, nearly 400 people decided to not volunteer anymore, to not work for the event anymore because of what President Mori said. It's a huge loss and it's a huge deal. The Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, the new Prime Minister, had a reaction to what President Mori said, but was not what we all expected him to say. He basically said that they are in conflict with the Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games' important principle of gender equality and that should not have been said. He kept going on saying that President Mori's remarks were not favorable for Japan's national interests. Does it sound like an apology, a sincere apology? Now let's just consider things for a second. President Mori retracted the affirmation. He didn't apologize properly. And Prime Minister Suga only criticized President Mori for saying things that should not have been said and that were not favorable for the Japan's national interests. Does it sound like he is apologizing for President Mori? Do you think they are at least sorry for what was said? This whole extraordinary meeting was held in order to promote an incrementation of 40% of female members in the committee as executives. This project was really important because of a specific reason. In 2019, the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Equality rank was really negative for Japan. Japan came 121st in the list. I will put the link in the description down below so you can check it yourself. Out of 153 countries, it's a huge deal, especially if you're going to hold the Olympic Games and all eyes are on you. So this extraordinary meeting was really important and we can say that was ruined by his personal opinion. 6 years ago, the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe actually introduced a policy of promoting empowerment for women, especially in the work fields. But nothing changed for real. This is why it's a huge deal. This is why it's really important for President Mori to quit his position. As you know, in Japan, if you make a mistake, especially if you're a public figure and make a mistake, an apology, it's not the only thing you can do. But when it's up to sexism and discrimination, everyone expects you to quit your position. Now there is a huge deal around President Mori's demission from his position. There is part of the Japanese Olympic Committee and also the Liberal Democratic Party are still supporting President Mori. I want just to underline that Japan is known as a country that don't really have an equal vision of the women as it has for the men. So what I want to know is, what do you think? What President Mori should do? What do you think about this situation? Do you think he was sexist or not? Leave a comment. Let's start a chat and a discussion about this subject. Thank you so much for watching my channel and supporting me, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.